going to teach you a simple math which we use in project management. I'm going to brief you what a project manager will do in his job. The project management involves 5 steps, which is initiating, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. The first process is initiation. That is where the project manager will come up with an idea. He may come up with his own idea, or he can get some ideas from a team member or from somebody else, from the CEO or anybody. It's the initiation process will always come up with a new idea or a new business or a new project kind of thing. So that is the main step in the project management. The second step is planning. Planning involves a lot of activities. It is not just making a simple thing. That is one major portion of project management. The manager has to do a well plan before starting any of his project. The planning should be a strategic plan. What is a strategic plan is, he has to collect all the data and information related to his project and how that data will affect his project in future, or whether that he has to do some kind of market research or consumer research, product research. All kind of research thing will come under planning. So the saying says, well plan is half done. So the planning should be good for a project manager. Only then he can execute his project and he can complete his project in a well manner. In the planning, I can give you an example of making a calculation in a business. Like for every project, the project manager will have a budget to carry out his project. So I'm giving you a little problem, which is simple math, which gives you an idea about how the project manager will handle his budget. We can assume that we have been given an $80 million of budget for a hardware development. This number is just a fake number. It's not true. It's my idea, and we can imagine that we have been given $80 million for a hardware development project, and we can assume that we are going to start the project by 2014. We are getting 50 million revenue from that, and in 2015 we are getting 100 million revenue, and in 2016 we are getting 175 million revenue. So we need to allocate this budget, and we have to distribute the revenue as well. So we have to split this, like this budget 80 million is for, we can assume that this is for whole project, and we are dealing only with hardware department. So we can think that we are allocating the budget. Excuse me. So we can assume that we have been given a $40 million of budget for all our expenses, and the predicted revenue for that project is the figures I gave, in like 750 million, the other thing. Let's think like if we are starting a project, what will be the basic expenses we have initially? Initially, we'll have some legal expenses, market research, and marketing. If you want to sell our project or some product or something, we have to do some kind of research, marketing, and we have to find a vendor. So if I'm giving an example of we are dealing with a hardware project, so we have to find a vendor to buy all the technical stuff, raw material and other parts we need to develop a hardware device, and the R&D. this is this we can make our own, because just to give you an idea, I have divided like this. It can be anything. It can be contracting somebody to do a market research. Even that will come under the expenses. So this expenses can be anything. This is my assumption that we are making these expenses for that project. So I can give you an split of the revenue. We assume that we are taking $40 million. So for first legal, I can say we are spending $3 million. That is our initial cost. And for vendor, we are spending 16 million because it's a hardware business. So most of our investment will go for buying raw materials and assembly, that kind of stuff. We are assuming that we are spending most of the amount for the vendor for the raw materials and products. And I assume that we are spending $2 million for hardware development, and for R&D, I am spending $1 million. This is my assumption for initial cost, the initial project cost. That comes around 22 million. And I assume that we are spending on year 1, we are spending $3 million on vendor, and again on year 2 we are spending $3 million again, and in year 3, this is my fictitious number. It's not, I did not take it from any real example or something. So it comes around 40 million, and I have this, I'm not sure. Let's do some calculation on that. Let's think we have got an amount of $50 million as a revenue. So we can assume that we are getting all the revenues from color it so that you cannot able to see the figures. So let's assume that for year 1, I have categorized the revenue as sales. We are getting from hardware sales, and we are getting the revenue from additional features and upgrades, and revenue from maintenance and services. So we can split this. The first year, 2014, amount is we are getting a revenue of 50 million in 2014. We can assume that we are getting 15 million revenue from hardware sales. For year 2, my prediction is our sales is getting increased by 220%. So I guess you can calculate the figure. You can give me a number. What will be the 220% of 15 million?
$33.
Yeah, it's a 33 million. So like that we have to calculate in the year 2016, I predicted that our sales is getting increased by 145%. Again, it's getting increased by 145%. So what could be the number here if it's 145%?
Almost 48.
So we have to calculate this 145% by taking this number, not the previous number, because that is basic. So this is the first year revenue. This has been increased by 220%. If we say it's increased by 145%, we have to take the recent numbers, not the primary number, the first year number. So we have to calculate from this. that's how like we have to calculate the rest of the thing. For additional and additional features and upgrades, I predicted that we are getting 3 million dollar, and like it's the same. We are thinking like in year 2015, the sales is getting increased by 135% again. So it is simple math, but for to this number, we cannot just make our own prediction or kind of thing. We have to do a lot of research, and by we have to analyze what could be our future, what things could impact us to increase the sale. How can we have to make some conclusion and prediction about our sales and expenses. So that is the main job of a project manager. Before starting the project, he has to analyze everything and he has to come up with a great plan. This is one calculation. The other calculation is, so after coming to all assumptions, we have to calculate net gain. Net gain, present value. Excuse me. This is the net gain. Here we have to calculate how much we spent on the project. So it's 40 million, and we have came up with the number. It's hard to explain in Excel. Yeah. So, okay. Take this number again. So we assume that we are spending 22 million for initial cost, and for year 1 the total is 7 million, and for year 2 we are spending 5 million, and for year 3 we are spending 6 million. So we have predicted that we are getting revenue from hardware and additional features and upgrades and maintenance. We have concluded that we are getting these numbers from all these revenues. So this is our revenue. The revenue is a benefit. It's the same. It's a synonym. So this is the numbers we predicted as revenue. 20 million, 40 million and 60 million for the whole project for first 3 years. So we have to calculate the net gains. Net gains will be, and you can see in the formula, it's benefit minus cost. It's the basic math. What is our profit? If we ask anybody, if you have $10, if you spend $8, what the number you will have in your hand? It's obviously $2. So that is your profit. It's the same. Net gains is the profit you gain. It's a vague profits. It is not the exact net profit. Still we will have some kind of expenses that will reduce our profit. This is the basic profit we calculate. That is net gains. We have to subtract this benefit. This is revenue, and if you subtract like benefit from expenses, you will get this figures, net gains. It's just a simple math. 20 million minus 7 million. So this is your net gain. This is your initial profit. And the other thing is discounted rate. Discounted rate is how much we are paying to the capital. Every company has to allocate a percentage amount for their capital for reserve. For we'll get some unexpected expenses or something like that. For that, every company should make a capital reserve to manage his unexpected expenses. So that the discount rate is, I assume that it is 5%. So here we have to calculate present value benefit. Present value benefit is what the value we are getting from the business for each year. So the formula for that is net gain. I think if you do if you calculate for 1 year, it will be easy for you to understand. The present value is equal to net gain of the year divided by 1 plus r to the power of 1. R is rate of interest. We can look at the formula. Present value of year 1. Is the net gain divided by 1 plus the percentage. So you have to add up all the net gain together to calculate present value, or you can calculate for 1 year, year 1, year 2, year 3. So you have to calculate that number for each year, and you have to sum up everything together. Because I just want to give you an example so that if you calculate, you will get an idea how this number comes. You got this number?
Yep.
Yeah. That's how we have to calculate for year 2 and year 3. So we will get this number if we use that formula. Then you have to sum up all the 3 to get the present value of the benefit. This is your whole number. This is the whole revenue you are getting for the project. If we add up 3 years together, and net present value is the present value we are getting 90 million minus this initial cost we are spending. That is going to be our net present value. We have to calculate by subtracting 22 million from this 90 million figure. So if you subtract, you will get this net present value. So why we are calculating all this is because we have to find the return on investment. This is our main thing. Only to just get these 2 figures, we are doing all this calculation. This RIO is return on investment. So every business will expect some kind of return. It can be they always want to, the businesses, they don't want to spend their money for charity or something. all businesses who concentrate more on profit, they want their profit to be high and they want to expect more than 100% profit so that they can, they only by that they can think their project is valued and they can continue the project. They'll always target for higher profit. So just to calculate how much we are getting on return, so we have to find that before initiating any project. Just to find that number, we are doing all this calculation and assumption. So REO is return on investment. So to calculate this, we have a formula, that is present value benefit divided by initial cost into 100%. That is the formula for calculating REO. And if you use that formula, you will get this number, 413%. So this business, we assume that this business is giving 413% of return. So this project is viable. So we can carry out this project because we are almost getting more than 4 times of investment, right? For 13% in return. So we can conclude this as a good business so that we can start. And we have to calculate how much period it will take to get back our money. For calculating payback, we have to use initial investment divided by present value divided by number of years. You have a formula for calculating payback period as well. If you use that formula, I guess you will get this number, 0.73. Within 0.73 years, you will get back all your money you have invested in your project. This is a basic calculation which we use in project management to analyze whether our project is feasible, we can continue our project, whether we'll get some benefit or profit from that. So this will help us to carry out the project. So we can go to the next step by executing the project. After executing the project manager has to, after planning the project, the next step in project management is execution. Here the project manager will really execute his project, and later in the process he used to monitor whether the project is going on the plan or there is any deviation. If he see any deviation or variance, he will try to monitor and control it. That is his other step. After doing that, finally they will close the project. So this is the 5 major steps in project management, and almost all the project manager will follow these 5 steps to complete their project. Thank you. Any questions?